So the last couple of videos, we've just been talking about all the new changes in Endwalker. And I was thinking, I've said a lot of different acronyms in my videos, but I've never helped explain what those are. So for the new players or people who just need a quick refresher, let's go over some terminologies that Final Fantasy doesn't necessarily tell you what they mean. What's up, good people? It's Final Fantasy homie Jay, and right off the bat, we're going to start off with GCD, which is your global cooldowns. Global cooldowns are your globally known abilities that when you activate one is usually like your combo thread. It puts it on this cooldown that no other buttons in that same global cooldown can work. You've seen it whenever you do like your Dragoon rotation, you'll hit your 1 and then you have to wait to hit your 2 and you have to wait to hit your third combo. Those are commonly known as GCDs. So when people say GCDs, that's what they're talking about. That's kind of the worldwide cooldown that each time you use an ability, it puts all other abilities on a cooldown that you have to wait to use. These can be affected by skill speed increases attributes. These can also be affected by spell speed if that is something that you're doing with magic. And between those, it will do your cast times and help increase or decrease that depending on if you level those up or not. The next one is OGCD. Ooh, I swear I'm gonna mess these up. OGCD is your off global cooldowns, which are abilities that has its own separate timer. Those are your ones that's like, hey, you do this attack and you gotta wait 2 minutes for doing it again, or you do this attack and there's another 45 seconds. And those are the abilities that you can use at will as long as they're off cooldown. You don't have to wait with your GCDs, which is your usual rotations, to be able to use those abilities. Off global cooldowns can be used anytime that they're on their own timer, that you can weave those in and put those in and allow you to do more output, which is great and leads straight into our next terminology. Terminology, the thing I'm thinking about, I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Now, I just spoke about weaving, and weaving is literally using your global cooldowns or off global cooldowns in a way that can maximize your output. For instance, if you use your 1, 2, 3 combination, but you gotta wait for the cooldown of those buttons to get back around, you can throw an off global cooldown in there. Dragoon, for instance, I'll hit 1, then I'll use a jump ability, and then once that cooldown of my global cooldown comes off, I'll use 2 in my rotation and use another off global cooldown if I have one. And that way you can use more abilities in a short amount of time, get more damage, burn things faster, kill things quicker, you get through your day faster, and you can go on with your business. So learning to weave in your abilities between your global cooldowns and your off global cooldowns is going to make you so much a better player and actually help the team as a whole, because you'll output more damage and you'll output more abilities that will get you through much faster. Clipping is when you use an ability when another ability is ready and it delays the output of that ability. And I'm sure if you've seen that before, if you've ever used a global cooldown and then as soon as the global cooldown came off and you went there using an ability, you decided to slap another button real quick, and that button slowed down everything else. That is clipping when there is the delay in your output, and that's because you aren't timing your weaving correctly. It's circling around your GCD, your global cooldown, and it's causing your buttons to delay the output, which will slow down your damage just a little bit. MT, I see this a lot when I'm in chat. People be like, what's MT? MT is main tank. So usually when you run trials or raids, because dungeons don't matter because you only got one tank. Alliances, those are when you have multiple tanks. MT usually means that the main tank is, this person is going to be the main tank, and that means that that person is going to tank the boss. They're going to control the way the boss is facing. They're going to handle the very first pulls of the boss and make sure that the boss is in the correct order. And OT is off tank, where the off tank is kind of playing the DPS until they need to step in and do what they need to do or grab the additional ads to come into the boss. So if you ever see MT in chat, it usually means main tank, unless somebody's using it for mistype, but I don't think people use MT for mistype anymore. I think that's kind of like an old school boomer kind of thing like myself. So MT usually means main tank. Another big thing that I see that I even had to learn is when you're fighting a boss and your danger, I'm gonna call it your danger radius, or your AOE, or the damage that the boss is about to do. You have the nice glowy red, blue, whatever color it is. The animation actually doesn't matter as long as you dodge the blue AOE if those are in the boss fight. Now, once you add that blue AOE, you can actually run back in while the animation is happening and you won't take any damage. Final Fantasy does that on purpose because it makes up for the lag that people may suffer from. So if everybody just focuses on making sure they're out of the radius, the animation actually does no damage to you. So if for instance, if your boss is doing a AOE move and you move out of the radius, and then as soon as that AOE disappears, you can run back in even if the animation happens after, and you won't take any damage. So that's a nice way to get back in the fight. Adjusting. Healers adjust. Healers adjust is literally saying that the healer or whoever is picked, wherever the role is, if you're doing raiding, usually they say like tank and healers adjust. That means that they have the role to make sure that they take the lead on whatever the mechanic is. If it requires people to be stacked together, the healers and tank has the responsibility to make sure that the DPS doesn't die. So usually when you see healers adjust or adjust in general, it usually means, hey, for this situation, you're gonna have to do something different than you normally would, and you're gonna have to take leadership in this moment where Black Mage yelling healer adjust is saying, hey, I'm not moving, so healers, you need to heal me. Which is good or bad depending on how you look at it. I mean, as a Black Mage, it is what it is. It is what it is. Hopefully this video is super helpful. I realized that there's a lot of terminologies. There's more out there that I haven't talked about, but I figured it'd be nice to start something like this to at least give some context to what people are talking about in chat. If it helped you out a lot, give it a big thumbs up. As always, I stream on YouTube and Twitch, so you can hang out with me anytime, and I will catch y'all on the next live stream. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to say. Happy questioning.